Lady, lady, lady,
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather, whether or not. There it is.
Good morning, Prince George, and good afternoon, Winnipeg. Hello, Kamloops, and all viewers on Rogers TV. I almost said the other thing, just out of habit. No, Rogers TV. Thanks for having us, Rogers. We are the Comedeorological Report. I am Joey, only up here in Wells, British Columbia. This is your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada. It's comedy plus meteorology. You put them together, you get Comedeorology. It's this random science I made up. And this is our last show of 2023. We'll be talking about some of the big stories this year, and we'll be talking about predictions for next year. Frankie, we want to hear what you think is going to happen next year. I got my panel with me, which includes Frankie McDonald out there in Sydney, Nova Scotia. He is the world's most famous weatherman, and he's fantastic. So he's the star of the show. He'll be here to start the show off with us in a couple minutes' time. And of course, out there in Brooks, Alberta, we have the radio weatherman himself, who's actually not been broadcasting on anything all week. So we got the whole Brandon this time. We got all of them. So that's great. Hi, Brandon. How you doing this week?
I'm doing wonderful this week. Yes.
There you go. He's doing wonderful. And down there in Victoria, British Columbia, Imogen Cookie Bailey, our fantastic co-producer of the show with me. Good to see you this week, Imogen. Happy New Year.
Aloha. Brandon's extra animated today, I see.
Yes, he is. He's drinking energy drinks, and he's not been getting on the radio at 4 in the morning all week. He's not been getting into bed at 3 in the morning all week. It's fantastic. And
I've been getting up at 8.
Lord.
Which is a big sleep in. It's a big sleep in.
Some people say that's not sleeping in. I'm like, oh, that's totally sleeping in. 8 o'clock. Come on now.
Now, last week, Hilding Donaldson, he was in Edmonton, Alberta, which is, if you've never heard of it, it's a town where a completely ridiculous hockey franchise exists. But he's back from Edmonton, Alberta, back in Grassy Plains, British Columbia. Good to see you this week, Hilding.
Sorry about that. Good to see you folks too.
Okay, well, that's everybody in the panel, and we'll see who else shows up, because you never know who will show up, because I really don't have rules. You know. Well, we have kind of an order that we go through, Frankie, which starts with Frankie McDonald out there in Sydney, Nova Scotia. How you doing so far this week? Frankie, good to see you, friend.
I'm doing great so far.
What's going on in the world of weather, Frankie?
Right now, it's going to be a flurry of snow and rain in Sydney, Nova Scotia tomorrow, and more rain and forecast in Vancouver, British Columbia. Then we got lots of weather all across North America and all across down the states. It's going to be colder air all the way down to Arkansas. It's going to bring really cold air. Tennessee with snow, the forecast there. In Georgia, even Florida getting some colder air too. Then you got lots of rain heading for Vancouver, Seattle, Portland. There's some showers and rain heading for Los Angeles as well. In Southern California, you got really cold air heading all the way down the Great Lakes region this weekend coming, and New Year's Eve as well. It's going to bring really cold temperatures in Ontario and things like this. Lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in Central America. Lots of thunderstorms and rain going on right now in Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, and in those places in southern Chile. It's really warm right now. It's their summertime right now. In northern Chile, it's really windy. It's dry in the desert. It's really windy there right now in northern Chile. Lots of rain in Brazil right now, and including Rio de Janeiro and all those places. And Argentina is really dry in Argentina as of right now. There's a thunderstorms in the forecast in the New Year and things like this in Argentina. And it's getting warmer in Argentina right now. Days are getting shorter in Argentina, New Zealand, and those places because they're in the southern hemisphere. Days are getting shorter in the southern hemisphere right now. They had a big windstorm in Scotland. It was really bad over in Scotland so far. Lots of wind and rain and snow up in England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland. There's a big, huge storm ahead for Ireland on Saturday coming up. It's going to bring really windy conditions in Dublin, Ireland, those places as of right now. Then you got some rain heading for France. And it's going to advance its way on to Germany, including it's really cold Norway, Finland, Sweden right now. And lots of snow up in southern Finland and southern Sweden and southern Norway right now. In Moscow, Russia, it's really cold there right now. It's really cold in Moscow right now. It's really dry in Morocco, Libya, Algeria, and Egypt with tiny little showers for forecast as of right now. And the Western Pacific, like Japan. Then it got some storms coming off the coast of Japan on New Year's Eve as well. And it's really cold in Mongolia right now, and Siberia is so cold there right now in Siberia. And Siberia is going to warm up again in March.
It could get down to minus 60 in Greenland this next week, Frankie.
It'll be super cold there.
Super cold.
And it's extremely cold in Siberia right now. It's dry and some little showers up in China right now, in Hong Kong. Lots of thunderstorms, rain going on in the Philippines right now. In Indonesia and all those places of Papua New Guinea in South Pacific. And lots of thunderstorms going on in Sri Lanka right now and far southern India right now. And northern India is really, really dry right now during the dry season right now. So is Pakistan and those places. Afghanistan is it's in the desert. Bangladesh and Myanmar is really dry right now. Then it will begin the rainy season again in June coming up. Their summer starts in India in April, May. Once they get into June, their summer ends. There will be the rainy season in India. Lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in Mozambique, Madagascar, La Rio, and the Mauritius Islands. Then it gets the rain aiming towards South Africa with thunderstorms in the forecast like Johannesburg, South Africa, Cape Town, South Africa, and all those places. It's really hot there right now in South Africa because it's their summer. And days are getting shorter in South Africa because their fall starts on March 20th. It's really hot in Sydney, Australia right now. Then you got the brief cold air heading for South Island, New Zealand in the southern hemisphere summer. It's really warm in North Island, New Zealand, like Auckland, Gisborne, Wellington, Hamilton, New Plymouth, New Zealand, all those places. In Nelson, New Zealand, Gracemount, New Zealand. It's really warm there right now. Then you got brief cold air. Then you got warm air and cold air fighting each other in New Zealand. Down in Antarctica, it's daylight 24 hours a day. In Antarctica right now, it's dark 24 hours a day up in the Arctic. Sometime at the end of January, the first sunrise up in Barrow, Alaska, that will be in late January.
Frankie, what did you get for Christmas this year?
A new winter jacket and some new sneakers.
Nice. For sneaking.
And did you hear about this? Total solar eclipse is heading right for Sydney, Nova Scotia on Monday, April 8, 2024.
Yeah, I think I heard about that, Frankie. It's going to be great. What's your New Year's resolution? What are you going to be for 2024, Frankie?
Total solar eclipse is heading right for Sydney, Nova Scotia on Monday, April 8, 2024.
What's your New Year's resolution, Frankie?
I just did a new video about World Tour.
Frankie's going to have a world tour. That's his New Year's resolution.
Every country in the world, even the countries that don't even speak English.
Even the countries that don't even speak English. And Frankie. Oh, Frank McDonald Sr.'s coming in. Your dad's coming into the show again. That's great. You know, any other New Year's resolutions, Frankie? Any questions for Frankie McDonald?
I'm doing great so far. My dad will keep making music.
I got a question for Frankie.
Okay.
True or false? The Denver International Airport's twice the size of Manhattan. True or false?
And Denver, Colorado's twice the size of Manhattan. But
the
Manhattan
airport
has
there.
bigger skyscrapers.
Yes. Definitely true, yes. Denver's International Airport's twice the size of Manhattan.
Welcome to the show, Frank McDonald Sr. Frankie's dad's here with us once again. Good to see you, boys. Yeah, good to see you. We're just trying to find out what Frankie got for Christmas and what his New Year's resolutions are. His resolution is he's going to go on a world tour all over the world, even to countries that don't even speak English.
There you go.
I'm doing.
That's good.
And how was your day today? And you're going to keep making music.
I'm making music all the time, man. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I like that Ottawa Senators sweater.
And things are going great so far.
Yeah.
What? You're like the only one in Canada who likes it.
Well, it just looks good on him, right?
Well, I wouldn't be.
It looks like he could be on the team, one of the big defensemen.
Well, the thing is, Frankie has every right to wear the Ottawa Senators shirt. I actually have the black Leafs jersey the Leafs were wearing yesterday. The John Tavares captain's jersey.
Yeah.
In which I have no right to wear that jersey today.
But
Frankie
you know what?
has a right to wear the Ottawa
nice
one, however.
They're nice jerseys, the black ones. Yeah.
They are nice jerseys, but when Ottawa comes in and comes from behind and stomps the Leafs in their own barn.
I saw the end of that.
Yeah, that means I don't wear my black Leafs jersey, the very one they were wearing yesterday, and Frankie can wear his Ottawa Senators jersey.
There you go. Yeah, he wears it with pride too. Look.
And it was the futures game. It was the futures game, for crying out loud. There is no future.
There's no. It's funny. You know what? They got a lot of cash to throw around, but they need a goalie. If they had a really good goalie,
they got some goalies. They just don't have one that can stop the puck.
The puck, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like
that's a problem.
Which is a pretty important part of being a goalie.
Yeah, it's an issue. Yeah.
You know, at least
if they did, and everybody can see that, right? I mean, if they could buy their way out of it, they could, but I don't think they have the wiggle room.
Well, this is the problem with pro sports.
Yeah.
Okay, I know we're a little off topic tonight because but Trey Campbell's coming in, and he is the pro sports guy. He's a comedian from Houston, Texas, and radio man. And Trey might agree with me. The problem with pro sports. So the Maple Leafs have a salary cap they can't spend past. So we can't spend the money, even though we got lots of it.
That's right.
We're not allowed to pay players any more than a certain amount. So we end up only being as good as we're allowed to be. However, in Major League Baseball, there is no such rule. So our Blue Jays don't benefit from this because teams like the Dodgers, who are equivalent to the Maple Leafs in hockey, financially speaking, right?
Yeah.
Just scoop up all the players.
I'm telling you.
You know, so it's like no matter what sport we're talking about, being a Toronto fan, you're getting screwed by the rules.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. But they all got to play by the same set. But they were put in a trap a long time ago, and it's hard to get out of it.
We're the richest team in hockey, and we're not allowed to spend it.
Yeah, they'd have to trade mega players and break the whole team up to get out of that.
Trey Campbell, he's here from Texas, showing up right now. What do you think about this, Trey?
Hey, Trey, you'll be doing stand-up comedy every Thursday nights.
Yeah, usually. But no, yeah, to kind of respond to Joey, I believe that a salary cap would be beneficial to baseball to keep the teams closer, because often we see small market teams like the Kansas City Royals or the Cincinnati Reds get screwed. And I think that a salary cap is necessary, but when you look at the demographic of baseball owners, they're just old, rich dudes that want to just keep spending all their money because they know they won't have it very much longer. So I don't think they would agree to having a salary cap in baseball. But I guess it's worth noting that in baseball, it's a much harder game. A lot of things it's hard for just one player to go in and take over like it would be in hockey. As you could tell with the Leafs, they have several good players, but on a baseball team, if the Blue Jays were to sign Shohei Ohtani, it would be difficult for the Blue Jays to still win if Ohtani was their best player. And to an extent, I will say that there is sort of a salary cap when it comes to baseball, as a lot of these owners don't want to get into the competitive balance tax that would essentially mean they would have to spend their own money and not have to dip into the revenue sharing to get players. But overall, I think that there needs to be a more defined version of the salary cap when it comes to baseball and soccer all across the world.
Well, it's crazy. I mean, you look at people are complaining about Matthews making $13 million. And that's a lot of money for a guy, even in this day and age, but he's like, you watch how this guy scores from everywhere. You're like, this is like the best player, one of the best goal scorers I've ever seen. One of them.
Right.
And, then you look at, Major League Baseball market. It's crazy. It's sad. How is the weather in Texas right now?
It's actually mild. It's a little bit chilly. I think we're in the lower 50s, but just your average day in Houston in December, it's usually around high 70s. And it's been sunny recently. It's been very hot for Christmas, as it is in Houston. Our winter doesn't really start getting more as prevalent until January. But it's pretty moderate. It's not anything too uncomfortable. But let's hope there's no freeze again, because I don't want to live that down.
Yeah, a couple years back.
That happened in February 2021. Pipes got bursted and everything in Houston, Texas. They had plumbers had to have the order not to drain the water, not to use the water, because it knocked out power in Texas back in February 2021.
That's correct. Yeah, that was miserable, Frankie. I had to sleep in my truck to have heat.
What did you get for Christmas, Trey? And I'm going to ask everybody this now while we're on the topic.
I got a camera and an external microphone so I could record content. I got some air tags. I got a little bit of money. I'm probably going to buy an Oklahoma City Thunder jersey for myself here in the future. But that, nothing too crazy. Got some socks. I got a Houston. Yeah, these just the bare essentials more than anything. But it was a good Christmas.
Definitely got some socks. And my ex-wife got me an electric shaver. So that was really, really nice. Really. Yeah. Frankie, he got a coat and some sneakers.
I heard about that, huh, Frankie?
I got new sneakers for Christmas. I got a new winter jacket for Christmas, too.
That's good.
Frank McDonald Sr., what'd you get for Christmas?
Gift cards.
I get
the pick. Pick.
So just like the real lazy, I love you enough to not guess.
That's it. Yeah, I'll probably just get some new instrument cables.
Wait a minute. This is Papa Frankie. This is Frankie Sr.
Yeah, you've never met Frank McDonald Sr.?
I think this is my first time.
Trey Campbell. This is Frankie's friend Trey, and this is Frankie's dad, Frank.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Interesting.
And did you hear about this? Jason Marshall will be back doing a show on January 7th.
Nice. We should do that. We should all go on that show sometime.
Yeah.
That means one of those Joey Only shows, Jason Marshall could be a guest, the host of We Don't Have Cookies podcast.
I'd love that. Totally. Tell him to come. Anybody you want to bring, Frankie, you are welcome to make them come, man, because you're the man. Hilding, did you get anything good? What about you, Imogen?
I just got all sorts of knickknacks and doodads and things. So, yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Awesome. Knickknacks and doodads. Hilding, you get any knickknacks and doodads?
No, I got a couple of real nice, good shirts that I needed anyway. So,
is that one of them you got on there?
Yep. Yeah, this is one of them.
That is some fine threads, Hilding. I like it. Okay, so Frankie's New Year's resolution is to travel around the world. Brandon Houck, what did you get for Christmas, and what's your New Year's resolution?
What did I get for Christmas? Well, I got this lovely weather calendar, as you see here. That's a fairly nice calendar for the wall. And I got a pile of, craft beer to test out, because I also got this book, which is a beer logging thing, where I can act like a guy from Blue's Clues, open up the notebook and write it all down in her handy dandy notebook of beer.
Write down things about beer?
Yeah. like what the taste was like, kind of go through the appearance, the aroma, what the mouth feel was like, the overall impressions. Good stuff. Go through everything. Like judging everybody's beer. It's what I'm supposed to do for the rest of my life now. Till I
Well,
finish this and I don't have to do it anymore.
I do spend a lot of time judging everyone else's beer, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna be doing for a little hobby here, along with writing down the weather stuff, And
Well, that's great. So that's your New Year's resolution too, then? You're going to write down beer things.
yeah, write down all the weather events, all the beer events. It's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Then
stick to it.
Back when I used to drink, um, yeah, I never really wrote things down much about the beers. I remember I had a friend who's like, "You should try this craft beer. It's very heady, and I like beer so much," he said. And he spent like $15 on 4 of them, and then
Oh yeah.
and it was warm or something, and I was like, "Look, dude, I like beer more than you because I bought 24 of these old Milwaukees, and I'm gonna sit here and drink every one of them."
Well,
And that's the way I was, and that's why I don't drink anymore.
the first beer I got to test out is this called the Bandits Brew. That's right. The Brooks Bandits have their own beer now.
Wow. Are we allowed to show beer on the show, Imogen?
Well, it's
No.
empty can. But it's
Are we allowed to show an empty can?
empty can.
I don't know. In the context of recycling, I mean, Brandon's clearly an eco-friendly leprechaun.
Yeah, it's gonna go into the
Over
recycling, of course.
And Joe,
Right.
over in Russia, they got their Christmas is on January 7th.
Also in Ukraine.
Right.
Mhm.
I didn't know
Right.
that, Frankie.
And Chinese New Year's coming up. And I even have a Chinese New Year's hat I'm going to wear for our Chinese New Year's show this year, which will
Hey,
be better than this toque that I'm wearing right now. Okay, what's your Imogen? Do you have any New Year's resolutions of any kind?
No, I'm awesome every day.
I like that answer.
I've got a lot of stuff on the go, and I don't really define anything by hard, fast resolutions like that. I have so many goals going on all the time that the calendar date is not a reason to set a new one. Not
I'm
that
much the
date.
same. I'm much the same. I could care less most of the time. Trey,
Yeah.
New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, I guess I got one. I guess try to take advantage of more opportunities that I get, but that's it. I don't know. Shut up, Kyler. Probably give my dog a new home. That's my New Year's resolution.
Ukraine's former, I found out Ukraine's former holiday is Orthodox
Hold on,
Christmas
I have
on
to
January
move.
7th.
Dylan's back. This is my brother Dylan.
Why do you have my
Hey,
headphones?
brother Dylan.
My AirPods are dying, and I had to have them for this interview, Dylan.
Yeah.
So I'll bring them back in a second. I kind of took my little brother's headphones, and he's kind of mad about it.
Mad.
Yeah, he's kind of mad about it.
What?
And
People
I
get
also
mad about things?
I also kind of messed up his bed.
I would get mad about that. No, I wouldn't. Well, while you're sorting that out, Brandon Hoke. So we got probably a pretty cold air snap coming to our Winnipeg listeners.
Possibly.
Next week. Yep.
Possibly. Still up in the air, but
It looks pretty good chance, I'd say.
Alright.
Pretty good chance that some cold air is coming up. But what else we got for weather this next week coming in? How does new 2024 start? And what does everyone think 2024 brings?
well, definitely going to start off above average.
In what way? What
As-
average are you looking at?
Well, for us, the average high in Brooks at this time of year is -5. The average low is -16. We have not met that criteria at all for the month of December, and we have yet to start the month of January meeting that criteria here in southern Alberta. So that's basically the story for much of the West. And also for much of the east, it's been way above average as well. So we're going to likely be contending with most of the country above average. But as Joey mentioned, there's that possibility for a cold snap of air to work its way down next month. However, I don't like forecasting past 10 days because it's kind of voodoo land there. So,
Well, it's right on the cusp of 10 days.
on the cusp of voodoo land. That's exactly.
And we see how cold some of that air is up there. We see that there's that mixing going on. There's some warmer air going up. It's probably going to break that polar vortex down. That air is going to spill out.
Yeah.
It'll
spill out eventually.
It will spill out, and it doesn't look like it's spilling
like
west.
phases.
It's not coming west. That's what we're seeing in the next 10 days. We can say that for sure, right?
Oh, yeah. Doesn't look like it's coming to the west, for sure.
Well, it might come to the Midwest, like maybe Saskatchewan, Winnipeg. Most likely Winnipeg's going to see a blast of it.
Oh, yeah. How cold? That's kind of up in the air for now. But
yeah,
little shot of reality. Maybe that's what we'll call it. Reality.
What do you think's the big weather stories in 2024?
Well, the big weather stories. El Nino still hanging on by a thread for the start of the year, and there's some chances of La Nina making a return, so we'll keep an eye on that. So that will kind of mess up the weather story a little bit, but for now, that's what the start of 2024 is going to look like, as I mentioned, with the way above average temperatures across most of the country. And that is the start of 2024. And also a kind of cool fact I found today. Did you know in Hong Kong, architects often design buildings with holes in them to allow dragons to pass through on their journey to the ocean? I thought that was kind of cool today.
I didn't know that. Because we don't have dragons here, so I just don't think about those kind of things.
No.
They
thought there were going to be dragons, but apparently dragons were no show.
Well, okay. I mean, we've got a few on the island. They vary in size, really, but we've got a few here, and it's kind of wild to see them just flying around over Oak Bay. I mean, inexplicably, they like that area. I think it's a little Oak Bay-ish, but the dragons seem to like it there. So if you ever want to see one, that's the place to go.
Or the Okanagan, the Ogopogo, I guess you call that a dragon, maybe.
Well,
partially.
There's so many places with Ogopogo stories. Like, we have one here, and we actually have the Cadboro Bay Sea Monster. He's also called Ogopogo. And we have a park, Cadboro Bay Park, with a big concrete sea monster and giant sea animals. But there's, local legend is that we have a sea monster living out in Cadboro Bay, and he's called Ogopogo. I always thought he was a sea monster, but if there's one in the Okanagan, Forest Ocean?
Maybe. Yeah, that's
all the sea monsters everywhere. What do you think, Frankie? Predictions for 2024. What's going to happen next year?
It's going to bring a lot of thunderstorms, extremely hot weather for the Paris Olympics in 2024.
Yeah, extremely hot weather for the Paris Olympics in 2024. What else, Frankie? Any earthquakes coming?
Chance of thunderstorms in the forecast. It could dampen or could postpone some of the events if it gets severe thunderstorms in Paris in 2024 Olympics possible. But it's too far off yet for Paris 2024 Olympics. But the weather is too unpredictable for Olympics.
The biggest story in 2023, Frankie, in Canada was the wildfires. 12,000 firefighters were here fighting fires. And it's crazy. 5% of the boreal forest burnt up this year. It was crazy. It
was really bad.
5% of the... So if you took all the fires that burned the last 5 years in the United States and put them together, it would not equal what burned in Canada this last year. The other big stories of this year were hottest year on record, right? That's why we had so many, from slush to sweat it went. Spring lasted 2 days. Smoke that went into the United States and affected 100 million people from our wildfires here. So, Frankie, what do you think is going to happen next year if this El Nino keeps up the way it is?
That's going to bring so much rain in southern states and things like this. If El Nino dies, it's going to bring really bad tornado season in the States.
And it could bring really bad wildfire season still to BC, couldn't it? And Canada. There's just not much snow and precipitation going on, is there? Who wants to go? Who's got something? Who wants to go? Who's got something here? We haven't talked to Imogen. Hasn't had a segment yet. Hilding, we haven't really fully talked to Trey. Who's got something they want to talk about?
I want to hear about Hilding's cows before he falls asleep again. So
Yes.
Okay, Hilding, before you fall asleep, can we hear about the cows?
Well, I was gone for a week and I haven't had anything to do with them much, but yeah, we're maintaining enough snow here that the cows have something to drink without having to spray a bunch of water on the ground and make ice. So that's nice. If we get no snow, then we have to give them water. Then liquid water keeps freezing and they keep spilling it and they keep slipping and falling and it hurts the cows. So we're glad when we can get snow. So I'm hoping that little pocket of snow that comes through this next week hits us.
Excellent. How was your week, Imogen? And what do you got planned for New Year's Eve?
Oh, New Year's Eve, I'm going to be out blowing fire and lighting things on fire and blowing stuff up and blowing fire. It's going to be flaming. That's my New Year's Eve plans. Yeah, no, for coming up, I'm actually working on a magazine project right now. I've got 2 more magazine publications coming up. There's a probability they'll put me on the cover, but that's unknown. It's never really guaranteed until publication. So that's coming down the pipeline. There's another show project I'm just working on a whole bunch of stuff all the time. I don't know. January is no different from November, from July, from May. It kind of just all runs together. There's so many things happening all at once. I never remember what I've got going on until I look at the calendar and it tells me what to do. So
Imogen Cookie Bailey, flaming.
Right?
Trey
Like a
Campbell.
Dorito.
Trey Campbell, do you have predictions for 2024? Maybe for Houston or for the world, whether or not?
I guess Houston, it'll be another ridiculously hot summer that will be filled with humidity. And yeah, I think that's pretty much when it comes to the weather. It's going to be really hot here in Houston. Last year it was ridiculously hot. I don't think it'll be as bad as last year, but it's still going to be really hot in the summer, and I'm not looking forward to it.
On Earth last year, June 2023 was the hottest June ever, 1.5 degrees above the 20th century average. July 20th, 2023 was the warmest month ever recorded globally, beating the previous warmest July in 2019 and 1.5 degrees above the 1850 to 1900 average. The hottest day on Earth, 17.42 degrees, beating the previous warmest day that was just days earlier. August 2023 is the hottest on record. For 3 summer months, the Northern Hemisphere averaged 16.77 degrees. That's 0.66 degrees hotter Celsius than what's the 1991 to 2020 average. So there's just some examples of Canada and the world, how crazy it was. Number 4 weather story, Frankie, of 2023, according to Environment Canada, was the deadly deluge in Nova Scotia. What happened there, Frankie?
It caused so much flooding in Sackville, Nova Scotia in July. Nova Scotia has declared a state of emergency because of that.
It was in at the end of May, several plus 30 days. Fast-moving and devastating wildfires burned through. Okay, no, you're right about the July.
And the sky was orange like color in New York City. They had to postpone the Yankees game because of that.
I remember that, Frankie.
Incessant rain started splashing the fires. By the end of June, 214 millimeters fell in Halifax, 2.25 times the monthly average. July had 187 millimeters. Almost all the rain fell in less than 2 days, in July 21st and 22nd, when a slow-moving trough of low pressure went into the Maritimes. So,
Because the atmospheric river, because the cold air went all the way down to southern states.
So the torrential started on July 21st. By the end of the next day, 200 to 250 millimeters of rain fell across the province's southwestern shores. So that was
That's
crazy.
That's the same weather pattern brought cold air in Texas.
50 roads remained impassable. 50 more were washed out. 7 bridges had to be replaced or rebuilt. 19 repaired. 1,000 people were forced to flee their homes overnight. 80 nonstop lightning left 80,000 homes without power. Nova Scotia saw the most lightning ever recorded in the province in over 22 years. Almost all of it came from a single storm on July 21st. 26,000 lightning strikes, Frankie.
It had a lot of lightning strikes and it was cold down in Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. Cold air went all the way down Texas.
Craziness. Trey, talk to us about. So you've been making this switch to stand-up comedy. At the same time, I was asking you about your predictions for 2024. Does America continue to exist after 2024?
I'm gonna say yes, but by a thread. We all know what's coming up. And there's it's gonna be a lot of turmoil amongst the people in this country. So, I think after 2024, it's gonna be difficult to know for sure what's gonna happen. But yeah, it's gonna be crazy, and I am not looking forward to it one bit.
Now, you used to produce Bill O'Reilly shows. Is that still going on?
No, I've moved to sports. I've made a conscientious, a concerted effort to get away from that and just do sports. Every now and again, I'll go if they need someone, but no, I usually though when I'm there, I don't listen, so it doesn't really make a difference. But yeah, no, it's yeah, I've moved away from that. Hopefully, into the future.
And how is stand-up comedy going?
It's going good. Oh, sorry, what were you saying, Joey?
You're making this sort of move from being a radio producer, radio guy to doing comedy, and
Yeah, yeah,
curious about it.
it's been really good. I was just on popular YouTube show Kill Tony the other day. They just posted that episode, and I've gotten a lot of people hitting me up that watch that show. So I think I don't think this is the peak, but I feel like this is me beginning to build momentum when it comes to comedy and going forward. Because it went good, the set went good. But I enjoy comedy. I like going up in front of a crowd and everybody laughing. Sometimes I get kind of emotionally drained from all the nonsense and the excess that goes on. A lot of people are like just doing too much cocaine, and it's hard for me to want to be around those type of people. But overall, I like doing comedy, and I like getting the benefits of having a good set when it comes to stand up comedy.
Yeah, do you think does drugs really make someone funnier?
No, in fact, I think it's quite the opposite. Now, if you're naturally talented and you're just funny, you're going to be funny regardless. But I guess unintentionally, to an extent, it could make people funnier because the stupid things they do when they're loaded, I guess, is kind of funny, but they don't know that. So, I mean, no, I don't think that they do. But I think that it causes them to commit acts that are funny because I've seen it happen a lot here in Houston.
Yeah, do you ever get people who are like, "Oh, you do comedy? Can you be funny now?"
Yeah, it's very annoying. If I had $1 for every time somebody said, "Tell us a joke," I'd probably be, I could probably pay off my car at least.
That'd be all right. For weather guys, it's like people And they're like, "Hey, you're a
Yeah,
weather
tell us
guy.
the weather.
Can
Yeah.
you be funny?" I'm like, "No."
No, yeah, I get it, 100%. It's I guess there's different things to deal with in different professions,
But
but
sometimes you're a comedian. They're like, "Hey, you're a comedian. What's the weather like next
that would
week?"
be I would much rather them ask me that. I would be more inclined to want to talk about that than have to say, and make up a joke. Usually, when people ask me to tell them a joke, I just go into like a really awkward story about like dead cats, and they don't ever ask me to tell them that again.
Yeah, that's a good tactic to keep in mind. So everybody out there who doesn't want to be funny, we don't forget the dead cat jokes.
Yeah, I usually just talk about dead cats, and then they just kind of check out. They kind of think I'm too crazy to deal with, and they don't really ask me ever again.
Is that kind of is that really a good tactic for comedy? Don't you want it? People to like, that's tough, eh? It's tough.
Yeah, it
But what
is
you got to
tough.
do is next time they say, uh, "Can you be funny for me right now? Tell me a joke." What you say is, "Got $10?"
Yeah, or pay me. You know,
Yeah, because that's
I
what I
mean,
used to. When people would be like, "Hey, Joey's here. You gonna sing us some songs tonight?" I'd be like, $1,000.
yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. Um, you know, if they pay me, then
And
I'd
then
be
they
more
wouldn't ask me to.
inclined.
They wouldn't ask me to play again.
Yeah, yeah, because people hate. If there's one thing people hate more than anything, it's rhetorical questions about money. But it's good. It's. I guess it comes with the territory, huh?
When I'm ready to put a show on, I'll put a show on. That's
Yeah,
I haven't played a guitar for a while, so price is going up. I got to work twice as hard. $2,000 next time someone asks me.
yeah,
Price just
yeah.
went up.
Maybe
Hilding's got
one day
something to
someone will give
say.
you $2,000.
Hilding's got something to say.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. I used to go in and tell people I could yodel, and they'd say, "Come up with a yodel," and then they'd just laugh hysterically, and I'm like, they don't know how much work goes into learning how to do that. And here they're just laughing like this sounds ridiculous. I've gotten to the point where I've gotten past that now. And I got asked on Sunday night to do a yodel for a guy's birthday song, and I improvised a totally new song and put a yodel into it, and everybody cheered. They thought it was great. They didn't just laugh. And there's a point where you get past being goofy and dumb and actually being entertaining. And when you can get to that spot, it's much easier.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great. Hilding, can you yodel for us? For now on, every show, I want Hilding to yodel.
Oh, well, I'll have to start working at coming up with some. Yeah.
I forgot you were a yodeler, and it's true. It's hard to yodel. I tried to yodel sometimes back in my country music career, and I was like, you know what? That's just not what I do really well. But sometimes so just not really a yodeler. I was more of a bass singer. That's why I had the bass
We
voice.
all have to take interest in something.
Trey, can you yodel for me?
I don't think so. I don't think I have the pipes for it. No, I don't think I can. I don't think I.
Frankie, have you
What
ever
about?
tried to yodel before? Can you yodel for us? That's really good. It's really good. Brandon, you got a yodel?
You want me to yodel? Okay. Yodel, 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 something like that. Yeah.
I guess so. Imogen, you got to beat that.
No, I'm not a yodeler. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Not a yodeler.
I'm not a yodeler. No.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna wish every single person, the whole entire face of the planet Earth, a Merry Christmas 2023. I will wish every single person on the whole entire face of the planet Earth a Merry Christmas of 2023 from Frankie McDonald. Have a great
Thanks,
Christmas.
Frankie.
Even the countries that don't speak English.
Hey everybody, I will wish every single person in the whole world a Happy New Year's. I'll wish every single person, the whole entire face of planet Earth, a Happy New Year's in 2024. It's gonna be New Year's Eve 2023 and the New Year's 2024. I will wish every single person, the whole entire face of the planet Earth, a Happy New Year of 2024 from Frank Down. Hey everybody, here's a Frank Down World Tour update. In late December 2023, once I go on the world tour, there's no going back for me. I'll be going to every province in Canada, every single state in the United States as well. I'll be going to every single country in Central America like Mexico, Guatemala, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Honduras, and all the way down to Panama. I'll be going to every single country in South America, including Colombia, Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, and Chile, in Brazil and Argentina, those places. And I'll be going to every single country in Europe, and every single country in Asia, and every single country in Africa and Oceania, including South Pacific tropical islands, including Antarctica. I'll be going to every single country in the world. For my world tour, I'll be performing on stage. I'll be indoor venuings and outdoor venuings. I'll be performing on stage. I'll be dancing on stage, doing speeches. And I'll be doing comedy skits on stage. On my world tour, I'll be going to every single country in the world. I'll need an agent, I'll need a logistics, I'll need a promotion team, I'll need a PR team, I'll need a lot of people as well for my world tour. I'll need a lot of crew members and things like this. I'll need a pilot for the private jet and things like this. I'll be traveling to every single country in the whole entire face of the planet Earth on my world tour. I'll be going to every country in the whole world. I'll be going to so many countries on Earth on the world tour. I'll need a lot of people. I'll need a private jet and things like this. I'll be going to so many countries. I'll need a professional translator for countries that don't speak English to get it translated to English. For my world tour, I'll be going to every country on the whole entire face of the planet Earth. I definitely need a professional translator because a lot of countries that don't even speak English at all. I'll need logistics and things like this. I'll need a crew members, things like this. I'll need a soundboard engineers and things like this. For my world tour, I'll be going to every single country on the whole entire face of the planet Earth. I'll be going to every single country in North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Oceania, even Antarctica. I'll be going to so many countries in the world. Once I go on the world tour, there's no going back for me. My world tour will never end. It's going to be unlimited, never-ending world tour for me.
Never-ending, unlimited world tour for Frankie McDonald. That's his New Year's resolution. One problem with your video, Frankie, Antarctica is not a country.
It's a continent. Australia is a country in Oceania.
Correct, yes. Yeah. So it should be a country, though. I would move there. If it, was a country.
It was very cold.
Oh, yeah, I heard that, too. Yeah.
Especially in in our summer months. Yeah. You've got temperatures reaching the -80s. Would that be fun?
So what you do is you go down there and then you come up here. So you can experience the coldest weather on Earth all the time. Frankie, what's your favorite temperature?
What is your favorite temperature? What is a perfect temperature?
180 degrees. I'm going to every country in the world.
What's your favorite temperature?
I don't have one.
Temperature. What is a perfect temperature?
180 degrees.
If you don't have one, what would be the second one?
What's your second favorite temperature, Frankie?
I don't have one either.
It's not minus 180?
Well, I would say it was minus 1,080,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
Frankie,
that's his favorite temperature.
What's your favorite speed, Frankie, that a car goes?
9 gazillion miles per hour.
Wow, man, that's like faster than time travel. I'm impressed. Well, okay, so I want to circle back to something. Frank, you said that France is getting a lot of rain right now. Is that correct?
What?
That France is getting a lot of rain?
Yes. That means that France is going to get a lot of rain this Saturday, things like this. Then you got the Olympics coming up in Paris 2024. in July 2020, July 26, 2024, there'll be so many people will be at the Paris opening ceremony at the Summer Olympics in Paris, France. They might have to close the France border because France will be over capacity.
It'll be over capacity. Gasp. Well, what I wanted to ask was how much rain can land on a baguette before you can't dip it in soup, before it's too wet?
Really wet. That means once again in the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris, France, they might have to close the France borders because too many people in the entire country of France.
Not enough
Maybe they
baguettes.
can maybe they can move the rest of the people that are overcrowding France to Quebec, and they can just have some games there in Quebec, Frankie.
Well, Antarctica's pretty empty. It's not even a country.
Well,
That means in Los Angeles 2028 Summer Olympics, it's going to be a great, big, huge, giant deal in Los Angeles. That means we might have to close the California border down because of the 2028 Summer Olympics will be too overcrowded in the entire state.
What I don't understand is why any country would want to host the Olympics. Forgive me, but I mean, everywhere they go, there's budget shortfalls, cutbacks, cuts to services, prices of housing going up. You know, places like Greece that their economy fell apart after the Olympics, probably because of the Olympics. And now you go to Greece and they spent billions to make these Olympic venues that are sitting vacant and have plants growing out of them now because they can't afford to maintain them. So
The city
I just don't understand why in this satellite internet age we now need to go have such a disruptive event in any one place.
when Olympics held in Paris, France, city of Paris won't make much money at all. The city of Paris will make no money. Only Olympics will make it themselves.
Yeah, Paris will lose money. So here's some examples. Los Angeles, Montreal, 1976. Oh, this stupid, I can't read the Fortune.com article because I don't have money to spend reading their articles. So according to the Fortune, there's 7 times and we can't talk about it. We can't even see it. And I went to go look at the New York Times for a similar article. Can't see it. So nobody wants to tell us just how many tens of billions of dollars these events are losing.
What about the Moscow USSR 1980? It's under a communist rule.
Yeah. Well, I think Winter Olympics are generally less expensive. However, that wasn't the case in Vancouver, which went way over budget. Isn't that special?
But city of Vancouver didn't make much money at all, but the Olympics did.
That's the way it goes, Frankie. That's the way it goes. Well, everybody, we're getting near that time. It's almost 2000, and we'll see you next year time, you know? It's like, you ever do that? Your parent, you know, well, when you were a kid, maybe you did it to your parents. Like, you go to bed, you're like, see you next year. You know? Like,
That's what I did on my last radio show before, well, the other week there. See you guys next year.
I love your childlike enthusiasm for life.
The Olympics in Paris, France is a great big giant deal.
I did not say
next year.
I said Brandon was childlike enthusiasm. I didn't say he's a child. I would not say that.
Very important difference on that one.
But I did get a Happy Meal the other week, so that was kind of cool.
That was pretty close. But you also get up at 3 a.m. So that's definitely not like children.
Well, this one child did in North Carolina. It opened all the presents under the tree at 3 a.m. this week.
Before the parents got up?
They got up after it opened all the presents.
That kid's getting nothing next year. Nothing. Hear that, children? Don't open your presents before your parents are there. They put all this effort into making Christmas awesome for you. You wait for your parents. You hear me, kids?
Or don't.
Wait for them.
What about dogs getting for Christmas? That means the owner has to be there when the dogs open up presents.
When the
Yeah,
dogs
yeah.
open the presents? Oh boy.
Yeah, I mostly just got him like, meat. It's like, here you go, here's some meat. Merry Christmas. And he loved that. Like then he was like, about 30 seconds later, got any more of that meat? I was like, no, you gotta wait for next Christmas. Sorry. Well, that's just about does it for the show. Yeah, it's been a good time. It's been really nice to see you, Trey. Been missing you.
Yeah,
Really,
of course.
really missing you because you're a good guy. Good guy.
Thank
down there.
you.
Texas.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
He is a good guy, eh, guys? Frankie, is he a good guy?
Yes, he's a great guy. If you want to follow me on social media, my blue sky's at Frankie MacD. My link tree is Frankie MacDonald. My Twitter is at Frankie MacD. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD984. My TikTok is FrankDown984. My Clapper is FrankDown984. My Twitch is FrankDown984. My Snapchat is Frankie MCDON. My YouTube channel stocks will say my LinkedIn's FrankieDown. Best luck to you. I'm Frankie Down. You're listening to me, Roger Weather Report on every Thursday nights. I will see you in 2024.
And I'm Joey Only, your host here, living in Wells, British Columbia. That's right, up in the Caribou Mountains. And you listen to us on C4 88.7 in Prince George, CKW 95.9, Winnipeg, CFBX 92.5, Kamloops, and Rogers Television. Thank you very much, everyone, for hosting us and having us. Very much appreciated. Last thing I got to say is Violent Night isn't just a good Christmas movie, but it's a great movie. I give it 50 stars. Have you seen that one, Imogen?
I have not.
You've not seen Violent Night yet?
No, I have not.
It's brilliant.
Never heard of it.
You hadn't even heard of it. So
No.
Violent Night, it's like 2 years old now. And I guess it's the guy from Stranger Things. I never watched the show, but that's what my kid said. He plays Santa, and he's really Santa, and he's out there flying around. He comes into a house, and he's just kind of hanging out there, and then terrorists take over the house because it's like these really rich people's house, and the terrorists are trying to get in the vault down in the basement. Now Santa's deer got spooked off, and he's in there, but now he loves the little girl who's stuck in the house too, and he goes on a butt-kicking massacre. And it's brilliant, though. It's really funny. It's really funny. And Santa is like, when he finally takes off, it's like,
Base Guy Show New Year's Eve Special Edition, Sunday, December 31st.
He takes off his Santa stuff to get patched up, and he's got all these old Viking tattoos and Norse tattoos all over him, and he's 1,300 years old.
Hey, Joey, you can see Base Guy on New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve countdown in Montreal time. When it's 1 o'clock in the morning in Sydney, Nova Scotia, it's 12 o'clock at midnight in Montreal. You can watch Base Guy Show New Year's Eve Special Edition.
I'll probably tune in for that and say hi to Jack Casey, the bass guy, one of Frankie's best friends and shows he's always on. And I have the kids here, so I'll be doing other things for New Year's Eve than, I wouldn't do much anyways.
That's the show.
That's the show. Okay. Thanks,
Awesome.
Imogen. Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Trey. Thanks, Hilding. Thanks, Frankie. Thanks, everybody. Bye now.
Watch for spot fires! Yep. Went up in the tree.